Until very recently, many companies have primarily used Windows GUI-based applications that were originally developed for internal use by their employees. But now, as more industries move towards cloud-based solutions, there exists many opportunities to engage directly with customers in exciting new ways. Your existing business logic has value, and with the help of Thriftly, you can adapt your current Windows solution to take advantage of these modern, cloud-based solutions today, without the need for expensive migrations or massive code rewrites. In this tutorial, I will demonstrate how you can adapt your existing graphical user interface to publish an API within minutes. If you have not done so already, you'll need to create an account at thriftly.io and generate a developer license. Once you have installed Thriftly Developer and activated your license, you will want to ensure that the Thriftly server library is properly referenced in your project. To do this, find your menu bar and navigate to Project, Add Reference. When the Reference Manager appears, click Browse and navigate to the thriftly.server.dll file. This will be found in the bin folder of your Thriftly development install. Add this file to your references and click OK. Now that you have Thriftly properly referenced, you will need to determine what function calls and business logic will be exposed through your API. In this simple example, we will expose all 4 of our functions to our API and make them publicly available. However, you may want to secure your API calls using Thriftly's built-in JWT support. For detailed instructions on implementing JWT authentication, you can visit the Developer Beyond the Basics section of our Thriftly documentation. Now that you have identified which functions you'd like to publish, you will simply add the published attribute before each function definition. While you're here, you may want to take advantage of Thriftly's built-in documentation feature. By adding some simple documentation attributes to your code, you can provide some useful information to those who will be using your API. Finally, in order to launch Thriftly, we will need to run these 3 lines of code from our application. For this example, we have chosen to add a button that will allow us to launch Thriftly directly from our existing UI. And that's it! We can now launch and test our newly created API. You will notice that the additional documentation you provided for your join call in the previous step has been carried forward and published. To test the API, you can click Test API in the top right corner of your services documentation. With a few basic test calls, you can see our API accessing our existing functions and business logic. For more detailed instructions and additional examples, please visit docs.thriftly.io.